Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, we'll talk about how to approach LLD problems in an interview. I get a lot of queries from different candidates that they are not sure what is expected in this interview, whether they should focus on code writing or API design or entity design or a class diagram. Today we'll talk about all these things extensively and I'll help you figure out what you need to focus on in this interview. Now I have divided this video into two parts. The first part is on the guidelines, which will help you have a structured approach to this interview, and the next part will be the different sections which should be covered in this interview. So let's begin with the first part. So the very first thing is time management. Now typically any interview is for 1 hour, and the first 10 minutes goes into the introduction and the project discussions. The last 5 minutes is for the candidates, that if they have any questions related to team or the company, which leaves you with 45 minutes. In this 45 minutes, you need to manage them efficiently so that you can deliver what interviewer is expecting. Next is analyze the scope of the problem statement. Now, whenever you are given a problem statement, it is very open-ended. You need to narrow down the scope into 4 or 5 requirements and get it verified with the interviewer. This will help you be focused on that scope, and you will be able to better complete the problem solution in those 45 minutes. Next is figure out which topics will be the best to discuss. Once you have the problem statement, you have scoped the problem statement. Now figure out which are the topics that you need to discuss. Whether you need to discuss API design, class diagram, code writing, entity design. So just figure out what are the topics that you want to discuss. You need to figure out these topics based on the problem statement. If you think that problem statement will require entity design, then focus on that. If you think that it will require class diagram, focus on that. If you think that this will be a code heavy problem, then you should focus on the code writing. Now once you have figured out the topics that you want to discuss, hey, these are the topics that I'll be discussing on. Do you want me to cover any other topic? And if the interviewer says, okay, I'm fine with the topics that you want to discuss, then please go ahead. If the interviewers has any other topic in their mind, they will directly say it to you, which will help you again to manage time efficiently. So these are the 4 things which I generally follow in the interview, and it has helped me a lot. So I hope this will help you as well. Now let's move on to the next part of the video, where we will discuss what are the important sections of the LLD interview. Okay, the first thing is the requirements. Once you are given the problem statement, and the problem statement is generally open-ended, you need to write down the requirements into 4 or 5 lines in a very crisp and clear language from the user perspective. Okay, let's take an example that you are given a problem where a user wants to upload a CSV file containing a list of product information. That service should process the file and update the database with the product information that is added in the file. We will be writing the requirements for this. So very first is that user should be able to submit a CSV file with thousands of rows. The second requirement will be that the file should support 3 operations: create, update and delete. The third requirement can be that the user should be able to see the processing report with the validation errors, which the user can rectify and re-upload the file. So we have list down these 3 requirements in a crisp and clear language, and we know what our solution should deliver. You should spend max 4 to 5 minutes in this section, not more than that. And once you have the requirements, just get it verified with the interviewer. The next section is the API design. If you have written down the requirements clearly, you should be able to complete the API design in 4 to 5 minutes. And try to follow the REST convention while writing the API design. Coming on to the next section is entity design. So in this section, you need to talk about how you want to structure the data into different entities and how you want to set up relations between those entities. This can be the major topic to discuss in the interview. For example, if you are taking an example of Book My Show. Now Book My Show LLD design generally have a lot of entities to design, and there it will take you at least 10 to 20 minutes or 25 minutes as well to discuss all the entity design. The next is the class diagram. Now class diagram is also a very heavy topic. In this topic, you should focus on what are the design patterns and how you are applying different design patterns. Not just stick to only one design pattern. There are many different design patterns like decorator, strategy, builder, and bunch of other design patterns. The main crux of this section is that you should know when to apply which design pattern. See, having knowledge of design pattern is one thing, which you can get it from bunch of resources from online. But having the knowledge on when to apply the design pattern is very important, and that is something which will make you shine in the interview. So you need to focus on that. The last thing is code implementation. Code implementation is something that is required in every interview. So whether you are doing API design or entity design or class diagram, you are actually writing the code. So this is something that you need to focus on in each and every LLD interview. There are a couple of things that you can focus on is writing good class names, defining meaningful return types of functions, write the main statements inside the function. For example, if it is an orchestrator function, it will do a bunch of four, five things. Write those statements that will first call this class, then this class, and all those things. If there is a problem that requires some complex logic to be implemented, then you should work on that code to implement. For example, LLD design of a game is complex. Why? Because the code is complex for that. So typically you should focus on code writing for those type of problem statements. While the problem statements like Uber or this file submission or book my show, these are more on the design specific, where you focus on entity and the class diagrams. So that's all about this video. I hope this video is helpful to you. If it is, do press the like button, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.